Period 7 History Semester Speaking Project. Standard 1 Al-Qaeda Osama bin Laden. Standard 2 Columbine Shooting. Standard 3 NAFTA. Standard 4 Social Media. And Standard 5 President Clinton. My Standard 1 topic was Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden and the Al-Qaeda opposed the U.S. for several reasons, one of which is because we refused to govern our country how they governed theirs. For those reasons, and for other reasons, bin Laden declared a holy war against the U.S., which was carried out through the Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda has attacked several civilian and military targets in various countries, including September 11 attack, U.S. Embassy bombings, and the 2002 Bali bombings. Osama bin Laden was the most historical and notable leader. He was killed May 2, 2011. Al-Qaeda was a huge effect on the U.S. because they were a threat. With terrorist attacks, illegal dealings, and tradings, lives lost, and security of the U.S. was also threatened. My Standard 2 topic was the Columbine shooting. The Columbine shooting happened April 20th, 1999 at the Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. There were 15 people dead, including the 2 killers. The 2 gunmen were Eric Harris, who was 18 at the time, and Dylan Klebold, who was 17 at the time. They used semi-automatic rifles, pistols, and several explosives. In less than 20 minutes, they killed 12 students, 1 teacher, and wounded 21 others. The shooting stopped when the 2 shooters took their own lives. Later, the police found 2 propane tanks in the cafeteria. Luckily, they didn't go off, or more lives would have been lost. It affected the U.S. because they began to question the police department and the safeness of their children in the schools. The shooting ended by noon, and the police didn't arrive until several hours later. The U.S. also began to question gun laws and gun violence in schools. My Standard 3 topic was the North American Free Trade Agreement. This is an agreement creating a trilateral trade bloc in North America. It removed most barriers to trade and investment among the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. It was signed by the U.S., Canada, and Mexico and created January 1st, 1994. Over 700,000 jobs were lost, but an additional 100,000 were created. The North American Free Trade Agreement has expanded the U.S. gross domestic product. My Standard 4 topic was social media, such as Facebook or Twitter. Social media can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how it's used. It can be a good way for people to keep in touch with others, to communicate, or play games to relax, though they have seemed to turn into a negative aspect. Younger children tend to lie about their age in order to be accepted onto a social media site. Kids are becoming addicted, just like here at the high school. It just depends how they are used. If the child chooses to use these things at the appropriate time, then it is not a problem. But a significant number of kids' grades have dropped because they get so distracted when they are asked to do their homework they choose games instead. Also, social media is very public. Kids are putting things out there that shouldn't be, or false information is being put out on these social media sites. My Standard 5 topic was President Clinton. Bill Clinton was born August 19, 1946. He attended Georgetown University for his education and was born in Hope, Arkansas. He was the 42nd President of the United States and the second one to be impeached. He oversaw the country's longest peacetime economic expansion, although Clinton's reputation suffered from a scandal in his personal life. At first he denied it, but then later admitted to having sexual relations with a 22-year-old White House intern. In 1998, the House of Representatives impeached Clinton for perjury and obstruction of justice. Though he had these troubles, he also had many good effects on the U.S., such as he signed the NAFTA treaty, he implemented Don't Ask, Don't Tell, welfare reform, and state children's health insurance.